The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. They bring new offer for customers. Play just $5, give $5 bonus funds. Use promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's currently Wednesday morning, September 24th, around 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm Rose Scott Rochelle, once again joined by Rose together to break down our favorite props for the Wednesday card. Running out of games in the regular season, believe it or not. Season does end on Sunday. Then we have the playoff action, which should be fun as well. Adam, how's it going with you? How are you enjoying your final week of regular season baseball action?
Kind of stinks that we nailed our last Dean Kramer
cap and we didn't have a show.
Oh, that was a no sweat. It was awesome.
No, I was saying it sucks that we didn't have a show that we could talk about.
Oh, it does suck. I mean, we swept the last show, so it was pretty awesome. But
yeah,
it's and it's just like it sucks because because the thing is that there are teams that are really not motivated. Like, for example, I wanted to do something with this like DeGrom versus Taj Bradley thing, but like the Rangers are done and dead. And Taj Bradley has like one more start to basically prove that he could be signed by a team and do well. Like there's a lot more weird things at play and a lot of teams that are really playing out the next 6 days.
Yeah, and of course it's also going to be a bit weird with some pitchers who, whether it involves innings limits or not, maybe they get pulled early in their last start. We'll talk about it in a sec. But the point is, it's a bit tricky in the final start of the season to fully, I'd say, guess or predict what the workload's going to be for certain pitchers, which can make the prop betting a bit difficult for some. But either way, point is still a couple of races that are happening in divisions and wild cards, so still some drama going on. But either way, point is hopefully you have been enjoying the baseball season, and once again, hopefully you'll stick with us for the postseason, which is starting next week. Anyway, before we get into any of our props for the Wednesday game, a reminder that if you want all of our picks and podcasts from SGPN in one easy location, check out the SGPN app in the App Store for free access to all of our picks and podcasts, absolutely free. So once again, you can either look up all of the individual YouTube channels, watch it there, or find all of the picks and podcasts in one easy location. Go to the SGPN app, free to download onto the App Store. So moving on to our props for the Wednesday card. Adam, I'll let you go first as always. What's going to be your first player prop for Wednesday?
Prices stink on so much stuff. So I'm still trying to live find my third one. Spoilers, it was going to try to do Jose Siri no hits, but he doesn't even make it the entire game. So look, instead, let's just go to a play that I did actually bet. We're going to go with Blake Snell under 16.5 outs. They're going against the Diamondbacks, who, look, by the way, are now tied for the 6th seed for the wild card. Awesome. Yep. My 300 to 1 for them to make the LCS is, I guess, alive. Anyway, he's under in both his last starts against the Diamondbacks, under in 2 of his last 3 road starts. Yamamoto's tomorrow, and he's kind of been their workhorse. Snell is not someone who they want to mess around with in terms of innings and workload-wise. He's also just beneath under the surface. He's kind of getting hit a little bit. But he's also off 112 pitches in his last start, which is the most pitches that he's thrown since last August. I don't really see them pushing him to go deeper again, despite the fact that, they still have bullpen problems. So give me Blake Snell. It's under 16.5 outs at -114. I think that also if you want another reason to like it, I had this up, but I mean the Diamondbacks are hot right now and they're really hot against lefties. So as they have been built to be. So yeah, just give me Blake Snell again under that outs. He's under this line most of the year. He's only had like 2 spurts of starts against Colorado, against Philly, against San Diego, back-to-back against San Diego. But otherwise, since he's come back and since he's done everything this year, he's been well under this number. So 16.5 outs for me.
Yeah, and we know the Dodgers haven't officially clinched a division title yet. They probably are going to at some point. They are 1.5 ahead right now. But I think you're right. At the end of the day, when they agree that they're going to be moving Ohtani to the bullpen, a couple other moves later, they're going to need Snell to be a workhorse in the postseason, so it wouldn't shock me if they,
especially because they're not going to get a bye. They're going to need to play. Yeah.
Especially after 112 pitches last start, we might see him come back down to earth and maybe throw 90 in this one, for example. So there you go. Moving on to my first prop for the show, I'm going to go with a pitcher as well, but somebody who has not been very good lately, and he was a Cy Young candidate for a decent portion of the season. I'm going to fade Matt Boyd. I'm going to go with the Matt Boyd over 4.5 hits allowed at -108. I like the price a lot. He's allowed 5+ hits in 6 straight starts. He also faced the Mets in May, gave up 6 hits in 6 innings. Cubs also burned the entire bullpen yesterday in a game that I don't think they needed, in other words, because they already clinched a playoff spot. But the point is, they clearly are still trying, and they lost to the Mets yesterday, but nobody pitched well. Horton wasn't very good. The bullpen wasn't great either. They gave up 9 runs total, but they used 6 relievers. So it wouldn't shock me if they gave Boyd a bit of a longer leash, trying to reset the bullpen. But Boyd, after being a phenomenal pitcher for most of the season, we know has been, I'd say, vulnerable for the last month or two. And the fact is the Mets offense woke up in the last game. The offense has been okay. The pitching, though, has been a problem for the Mets, but I'll ignore the Mets pitching entirely. Give me Boyd to give up some contact here in what could be 6 innings. Give me Matt Boyd over 4.5 hits allowed at -108.
You like it? I was looking at part of the reason I didn't also want to take the Siri under is because Boyd's been terrible.
Yeah, see, I see Joe mentioning that the Cubs have technically nothing to play for. That is true and also false at the same time, because it depends if you're only focused on them making the playoffs, because they clinched that already. However, they're only 1.5 ahead of the Padres for the number 1 wildcard spot, and you can still get home field.
You get it for the entire wild card series too. You don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is why it's important for them.
In theory, they could be jumped by San Diego for that number 1 wild card spot. So if you want to talk about matchups and who maybe they'd want to play, you can also look at it that way.
I think that they want people coming to Wrigley Field to have to play a game.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So once again, they already clinched a playoff spot, but they are not clinched into home field in the wild card series. So I do think that that's why they're still going to be trying down the stretch. Do I think the Cubs team does anything in the postseason? No. But I think they can still try to go for home field in 1 round. So we'll go from there. But the point is, I think Boyd's going to pitch. I just think he's not going to pitch that well. That's kind of my thoughts on that one. Adam, what is going to be your second prop?
So I ended up just putting this in right now. You know me, I'm always looking for somebody that we could fade who isn't good. And this is someone who I know. This is someone I know you don't like. I think you think they stink.
I know Dylan Cease doesn't pitch today, but
no, they're not a pitcher. They're a hitter. They want to play this game? Oh, they're on the Pirates. Not O'Neal Cruz.
Pirates. Oh no, I think Henry Davis stinks, but I don't know.
I know you do.
Talking about.
There's a lot of guys on this team that you think stink.
That is correct.
But beside Henry Davis is actually this guy named Jack Suwinski, who really stinks. Jack Suwinski stinks. Jack Suwinski is has a 53% K rate in his last 5 games, and he's gone and against Hunter Green, who I realize is off of a complete game shutout and probably is not going to have his greatest stuff, but he's also owned. If he doesn't have his great, I don't like Hunter Green Ks today. I like actually the overall. I like his under Ks, but there's a guy I like for him to strike out, and that would be Jack Suwinski. I think that he can strike him out twice, given that he has done it 6 times in 11 at bats.
Well, he's also bad at baseball, so that helps.
Yeah, that too. So anyway, plus 132 to win a unit. Jack Suwinski 2 Ks.
Yes, Suwinski's always been that guy for the last couple of years where Pirates fans talk about how there is some upside there, and I can never find it because I don't think he's any good. So if you're looking at a guy who has some power, who can occasionally hit the ball hard, great, but he strikes out a ton. His batting average, is it even over 200 at this point, or is it only like the 190s for Suwinski?
Oh, man.
I'm curious.
Let's see.
I feel like he's always hovering around that number, and I'm kind of curious if he is...
134.
134, yeah, I was going to say. So he has been even worse than you can imagine so far this season. But Pirates fans have sworn for years after his 26 home run season in 2023, he'd be a potential guy.
Big Jack.
He's batted below 183 in each of the last 2 seasons. So, yeah, he stinks. There you go. All right, before we get into my second prop for the show, a reminder, they're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Who's Bookie?
My bookie.
So using to bet on football, a bunch of different sports as well. They have a prop builder, second to none. Their motto is very simple. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. You can use crypto for deposits and payouts. You sign up for a new account. Use code SGPN. Get 100%. Bet back bonus $500 for the customers. Or get the G promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig, which is America's #1 sports futures market. Since the Novig's an exchange, we're getting some great prices. Available in 30 states. Download the Novig app. Spend $5, get $10 bonus funds. And a reminder, you have to use the code SGPN to get that promo. But get on the actual Novig promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through our first couple props for the Wednesday card. Time to move on into my second prop for the show. So for this one, I'm going to go to the Blue Jays game against the Red Sox. Don't look now, only one game separating the Blue Jays and the Yankees. There is a tiebreaker involved, so technically two games, but still. Toronto, not been too good lately. I'm going to fade one of their batters here. I'm going to fade Jimenez. I'll take the Jimenez under half a hit at -112. Not been very good lately. He has not had a hit in 5 of his last 6 games. And you have Crochet pitching for Boston. Jimenez historically has not been good against Crochet. And you're looking at his numbers. He's had 0 hits in 6 plate appearances against Crochet. I think it is a bad matchup for the lefty. Plus, you're looking at Jimenez, who's been really bad against lefties so far this season. 82 plate appearances, a 171 batting average. So the point is he has been a mess against lefties, Crochet especially, having no hits in 6 plate appearances. And, of course, we know Crochet is still really, really good. There is a chance Jimenez doesn't play because it's lefty-lefty, but we know he's a great fielder. Toronto might use him anyway. So the point is I'll go with Jimenez, no hits against Crochet at -112. So there you go. Pretty simple, straightforward. I wanted to bet Crochet in some aspect, and Jimenez has not been good. So there you go.
Yeah,
that's my second prop for the show. You have anything you want to add? Or you want to move on to your third?
I don't have anything to add. I can
cool. You can move on to your third.
That game, it's raining here, so I don't know what that's going to mean for some of it, but it probably is passing through. All right. You guys remember our friend Sonny Gray? I think.
Although you said it's raining here, the game's in Toronto.
Oh, game's in Toronto? Then you're fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
So.
Yeah, my bad. I thought that was. That was here. Wait, did they lose last night? I didn't even get to check.
Yeah, the Red Sox won. It's one game with a tie break, so technically 2. But the Yankees play the White Sox for 2 more than the Orioles for 3.
Yeah, this is what we talked about.
But
I also talked about on my pod that I'm not that my mulligan of the year is that I'm not. And I quoted you. I said, if I could redo it, I would have taken all my I think they can do this out of my Yankees stuff and put it in more of my Phillies stuff. And instead, I just didn't listen to you say they don't have a bullpen. They don't have a bullpen. They have a bullpen that is actively, purposely sabotaging the season. They literally have a bullpen of fucking sleeper agents that are just like, oh, I'm gonna come out here. What can I do to fuck this up? And it's So
at the end of the day, you can tell early on, especially post trade deadline, when some teams are just screwed bullpen wise, and they might try to bring out maybe a starter out of the bullpen to fix some things. I mean, the Phillies have done that with Buehler a bit recently. Buehler's actually been pretty good.
Buehler's been great, but that's also because I think the Phillies I think have a far superior pitching coach.
Oh no, correct.
Caleb Cotham's the best coach in the majors.
My point though is that we saw the Nationals win a title with one of the worst bullpens in the league. They started bringing Corbin out of the bullpen. Like teams that get creative and try to find ways to salvage it, but a bad bullpen is really, really painful to watch, and a lot of teams have bad bullpens. So it's kind of just something I monitor. But yeah, Yankees hanging around. I believe they're down to +240 to win the division. So we'll see. But either way.
They were 800 2 days ago. Just remember, everybody, stuff's reactive, not predictive. Oh, by the way, I'm going to give everybody a college football future right now before I forget that I need to make sure that you do too. On our brand new, not shared ESPN account. I was able to get a little bit down on it, but you should do it. UVA to win the ACC is, I think, a good bet. That's 60-1.
I know a lot of people are interested now in Georgia Tech, but their price is plummeted.
That's totally fine. But like, if you look at the schedule,
Virginia's got a pretty good schedule,
so and they have a Friday they have a Friday night game against Florida State, which you and I both agree has a reeks of.
It's a very official one because I think Florida State's really good.
Right. But, so they bought that team. So to be fair,
that's what college football is.
But make sure that you bet that it is better than it is at Circa. I put 50 on it to win. Right. I guess what, like $2,500 bucks.
Well,
$3,000. Yeah, $3,000. Yeah. So, anyway, Now you guys know what Scott and I talk about all day. But guess what? We're going to go with somebody today we're backing. You know who's good right now? Former Yankee Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
You know who's bad right now?
The entire team he's facing.
Yes, the entire team he's facing. You nailed it. The San Francisco Giants are bad. Like bad.
And it's kind of weird because they've been hitting the ball well lately and they still lost the last 2 games to St. Louis, which made me laugh. But
yeah, well,
they're not a good team.
But they have, but they haven't. Like everybody in that lineup's blue. I'm taking
Well, Ramos is homered a bit recently, but Ramos is also very streaky, so that doesn't really mean much.
That's like all he does. Yeah. So anyway, I am taking I'm taking Sonny Gray. Under 4.5 hits allowed. Again, this is kind of a giant fade on the Giants. He in his last he's under in 2 of his last 3 road games. He's actually he's under this in 3 of his last 5 games total. This is all about like form, and Sonny Gray's a gamer, dude. He only had 90 pitches in his last start. I just think he dominates this team. So give me the under under 4.5 hits allowed.
And I like Sonny Gray in general. As a Yankees fan,
I like Sonny Gray. As an A's fan, I loved Sonny Gray.
As a Yankees fan, he was not very good for my team, but that's like the only team he was bad with because he's been good everywhere else he's gone
everywhere
in the league.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go. 4, I agree with that. I think that Gray should go fine. They also you said why am I drawing a blank on what team Sonny Gray plays for? He plays for the Reds, right?
No, he plays for the Cardinals.
I was on the Cardinals, yeah. Why am I drawing a blank on what team he's on?
I don't know. I thought that too for a minute. I was like, wait, wasn't he on the Reds? Yeah, he was last year.
No, okay.
He's on the Cardinals.
I knew that too because when we were in Vegas, we backed him and he sucked.
Yeah, I have that looking at that right now. He
was really bad.
He was really bad.
But either way, I can get behind that, especially in a pretty pitcher-friendly ballpark there in San Francisco. So moving on to my final prop for the show, I'm going to go back to that Blue Jays-Red Sox game. There is a Red Sox batter that I want to back against Scherzer, and it's going to be Yoshida. I'm going to take Yoshida over 1.5 HRR at -105. Yoshida is at least 2 HRR in 6 of his last 7 games. Scherzer, though, has been really bad lately.
Too.
Really, really bad. He's allowed at least 4 earned in 4 of his last 5 starts. And Yoshida's also been good a lifetime against Scherzer, 2 for 3, both of them being singles, so not exactly much, I'd say, not many fireworks involved, but 2 for 3 is good enough. Point is Boston's offense we know can be dangerous. Scherzer gave up 7 earned in 2/3 of an inning last start. He's falling apart. So I'll fade him. I'll back Yoshida. Think the Red Sox get guys on base. Think he might get a hit or 2. Couple ways to cash this, but Yoshida's been good. Give me Yoshida over 1.5 HRR at -105. So
into it.
There you go.
He's leading off for them right now too.
No, I believe he was batting 4th ? I want to say
he did. He led off a couple days ago. It was kind
he might. Either way, point is he's been good against Scherzer, and Scherzer's been terrible. So that's kind of my combo there. If you want to just fade Scherzer by himself, that's fine too. But I think Yoshida's underrated in general. So I like Yoshida in the spot.
Nope, I'm into it. I could get into that. I don't know why, by the way. I was just noticing because I'm looking at my ball going boom filter, and Jack Sawinski's actually on it as well. So he basically could hit a home run or he'll strike out twice.
I said that before. That's why Pirates fans.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't realize that.
He hits the ball relatively hard, but he's batting 130. So if you want to be a modern day Chris Davis, have fun. But that's not really the point. The point is he stinks. So keep that in mind. You know who can hit the ball very hard too?
Who?
Jhonkensy Noel. And he stinks too. So that doesn't mean anything.
That guy is so. Can we talk about? Let's talk about this.
You want to talk about it?
I really do.
Okay. I thought we might save some of the conversation for the last show entering the final weekend. But we can do it now if you want to.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things there are 3 guys on this team who qualify for any sort of batting averages whatsoever, and all of them are under 3. It's literally Jose Ramirez batting 282.
Yeah.
Stephen Kwan batting 277. Kyle Manzardo 236. And then it's like this lineup's hilarious. Okay, this is not a real lineup. This is not a real lineup. Like this is like the guys on this team are just so terrible. Like I'm looking at but
they find ways to win every game.
Everybody's got a clutch hit, but I just want to point out the fact that let me read off some of these batting averages of guys who are starting on this effing team. Okay. Angel Martinez, 228. Gabriel Arias, 213. Daniel Sneerman, 213. Nolan Jones, 211. Bo Naylor is batting 194. This is, if the Tigers blow this.
You didn't even mention Hedges, by the way.
Oh, wait, I'm not even there. David Fry,
Hedges
Fry, who now has no face. By the way, that probably is what also set off Skubal. Like, that was crazy. Yeah. 99 mile per hour to the face. No, 171. Jonky Noel. I will always call him that.
Was he like
155. Austin Hedges is batting 147. And Will Brennan apparently made a few appearances. This team has every single starter has a negative WAR except for Jose Ramirez and Steven Kwan.
And yet they're probably going to win the division at this point.
Probably going to win the division.
Wild stuff. Wild stuff.
Everybody has a negative WAR.
I've been rooting for Cleveland for the last week or two.
I haven't. No, because they do this every year. And also, if the Tigers somehow don't even go to the playoffs, which is conceivable, but
it is possible. Yeah, it is possible.
I will never financially recover.
Let me quickly see what the standings are for the.
They're tied. They're tied. They own the tiebreak.
No. That's it. All right. No, now they're
one. The fun thing about this team, though, is that that's fine with the Guardians. What's really funny is to watch all these people be like, "Oh man, Guardians the World Series." This team's going to get so fucked.
Oh no, this team's dying immediately.
Dying immediately.
It's more just for the historical comeback aspect.
Yeah,
I wasn't even looking at Cleveland, by the way. For your sake, I was looking at the Astros because they're one game behind Detroit and they can't win a game either. So you're right now. Detroit is one game ahead of Houston. I talked about this with Alante on Sunday, trying to talk about which teams we thought would get in and miss the playoffs. I picked Houston to miss.
I like it.
I picked Houston being a team that I thought was dead, and they no-showed the entire series against Seattle. Then they got buried by the A's in the opener. Jordan's dead. The team's not very good. I think Houston brings nothing to the table.
Yeah, no.
So I think Houston misses. And their main move was, let's trade for Carlos Correa. Congratulations. I don't think that's going to do enough. So I think Houston misses. I think Detroit will get in a wild card spot, personally. So we'll see.
That's fine.
But
it's just funny because it's not that the Guardians have been good and the Tigers are bad. It's that the Guardians have been good when the Tigers have been bad at the same time. That's the thing about baseball that people don't get is always look at last 10. Guardians 9-1 in their last 10. Tigers not 1-9 in their last 10. When those two things happen at the same time, chaos ensues.
I forgot the exact number, but I want to say Cleveland is around 15-2 in their last 17. They've just been on absolute.
It's unfair. Well, last year the Tigers were 33-13 down the stretch.
Yeah,
they had a 2% chance of making the playoffs, and they ended up.
Detroit was up 15.5.
I know.
It's just wild stuff.
They were up 10. They were up 10 last week.
They were up 10 last week, and then they proceeded to lose almost every game while Cleveland won almost every game. So
it's because, Nick Schlein was on my show last night, and we talked about it, and he said the thing is that last year, because he's a Detroit guy, he said last year they were catching everybody off guard because they were doing these chaos games where they were doing with all their bullpen, and this year all those guys stink. And so it's been really, really difficult.
All those guys stink, and they were throwing at Charlie Morton for some starts, which is probably never a fun time.
They DFA'd him. They
DFA'd him in the final month of the season, which is never a good sign when you're trying to win a division. But I do want to ask you, though, let's assume Detroit actually does miss. It's not going to wood, hope they don't. And you don't financially recover. Does Hinch get fired? What do you do?
Probably.
You think it's just full scapegoat time?
Yeah, you have to.
I remember Boston.
Here's the thing about all of it is that, the number one focus is not going to have anything to do with the manager. It's going to be re-signing Skubal.
Correct.
Coming up against this team. I don't think you can fire him for that. I think that they start off slow. I think he's in Brandon Hyde territory though. And if you start off slow next year, that's a historic collapse. But it's not. He's also only been there 2 years.
Because I'm trying to think of all the other collapses that are coming to the top of my mind. And there are a couple that I think of.
Most of them are Mets.
One was Francona with Boston with the beer and poker in the locker room. He got fired immediately.
Right. That was because it was yeah.
Correct. But people forget the Twins had a crazy collapse last year, and Baldelli somehow kept his job.
Well, because the Twins also don't want to spend any more money on.
No. I understand that there are different variables at play. My point is that it's not a guarantee that the manager gets scapegoated because Baldelli kept his job and that team.
Yeah, I just don't know. I also don't think that this is like, I mean, let's also be honest, like they acquired Chris Paddock at the deadline. Like
they did nothing at the deadline.
Right. This is not like, I can't fault AJ Hinch for what is, you know, like everybody on this roster is on like a 1-year deal. It's like Gleyber Torres and like they didn't sign Alex Bregman.
Well, that's also a thing is that you had Torres and you had Javi Baez who are actually really good for the first half of the season. Then what do you know? They became Gleyber Torres and Javi Baez.
Javi Baez.
Like, you know, you had a bunch of, I don't want to say smoke and mirrors, but it feels that way in hindsight.
I completely think so.
So, look, I think Hinch keeps his job. I think he'll get blamed for it, but in reality, the front office really did not do a lot to help
them.
The depth. So we'll see what happens. But either way, we still got a long way to go. But losing that skoo ball start yesterday, I mean, they struck out 19 times. 19 times. And Riley Green homered yesterday, and they asked him about it post-game. He was shocked. They said, 19. Yeah, you can't do that and win, right? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you struck out 19 times in the game today. And he's like, 19 times. Like, it was
that was crazy.
It was bad. 19 strikeouts in a must-win game is pretty ugly. But we'll see what happens in the series moving forward. But once again, I think Houston's the team that misses. So we'll see what happens. But either way. Anyway, anything else that you want to add for the... Are we
in miscellaneous section?
Yeah, we're in platonic section if you want to add anything.
I'm looking at my ball go boom filter. I kind of like Bobby Witt today.
Okay. Well, you said you would have liked him more if he was at home.
Yeah, I always like Bobby Witt more at home because, you know, they cheat. Let me see. Because you guys are going to see me. I just like, here's the thing. I don't want to pay minus money for anybody's bases on a team that's not going to the playoffs.
Unrelated, isn't it pretty funny how the Royals, despite being a team that had probably no chance at actually realistically making the playoffs, were more active than Detroit at the trade deadline?
Oh my God!
Like, why'd they trade for Randall Grichuk and company? Like, I don't really understand that.
That was
either,
so weird.
It made no sense. But
what
Detroit
a dumb
didn't do
deal.
anything. But
let me see if I want to back the. Let's see if we're going to back the. I'll find us a batter prop. By the way,
I found a fun joke. By the way,
tell me.
But I'll let you continue your. Well,
by the way, remember I said last night we're probably not going to really bet a bunch of these. We're going to bet the ones that I gave out, but we'll figure it out. Let me just see. Hold on. I think Bobby Witt, by the way, is 0 for 10 against Kikuchi, which just kind of scared me off.
Okay. I mean, it's not as bad as Aaron Judge against Michael Wacha, but you know.
That's wild, by the way.
Very wild.
Let's see. Kikuchi against lefties lately. He's been too good. Too good. We don't like that. Let me see Cattell. Let me see. You liked fading Boyd, right?
Yeah. At least for the hits, I think 4.5 is too low for a guy who, if he pitches well, will go length. But if not, he's been really bad for the last month and change.
Well, Lindor hit a home run last night, so I can't take him again.
Lindor's been good. Alvarez even homered yesterday.
Alvarez has been great. You want to do maybe Pete? Let me see how Pete's doing. This kind of feels like
I'm fine with it.
I would actually probably do Pete.
Hangs a slider and
or even, honestly, I almost would rather do a Pete single.
I'm fine with that too.
Do you want to do? Because I don't think that I would. Let's do that. He's not. Let's do. Pete to have a single is plus 120, and I like that more than his. So his over 1.5 bases. His over a base is minus 190.
I am going to point out, though, for Wrigley's sake, the wind is blowing in at roughly 10 miles per hour.
So I like the single even.
That's also why. Yeah, I was going to say that's why I took hits instead of earned runs or anything like that, because I just am picking hard contact, but I'm not picking many balls to leave the yard. That's kind of the trade-off that I have.
Pete's 0 for 3 against him, but he's just like hitting the ball well, and he has singles in 6 of the last 10 games, and his last 5 games he has 5 singles in the last 5 games, 5 in the last 4, 3 in the last 2.
Yeah, what's the price? What's the price on the single?
Plus 120. I think we should take the single. Yeah,
good price.
Okay, let's take it. All right,
I'm fine with that. I see Jason mentioning that the Coward books aren't listing Skeens outs. That's one guy that I was looking at for potentially only going about an inning or two and then getting pulled. Last year, final start, 2 innings, and he got pulled. So I don't know how many pitches he's going to throw. The fun joke was I was actually trying to construct in SGP on unders for Skeens in case he does get pulled. I was going to parlay the under earned runs with the under hits, with the under strikeouts. The only book I can do that on is a local, which I find very, very funny. But I actually did a look at, I don't know if we wanted Adam, but it is plus 475. For Skeens, under strikeouts, under earned runs, under hits. It's plus 475.
I got that boost. We could use that for DK.
No, it's on a local. It's only on a local. That's my point. It's the only book that lets me parlay unders for Skeens.
Okay. Yeah.
So just a thought. But I thought the same thing. I was trying to look for Skeens unders, and I was hoping for outs. We didn't get it. Because I'm sure some people know he might get pulled early. So keep that in mind. But either way, anything else you want to share for Platonic?
No, but so you and I agree we're taking Pete Alonso.
It's a great price.
It's a great price.
Yeah. So I can get behind that. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the props for the show. Time to move on into the best bets and the underdog entry. Before we get into that, though, it's a time to remind everybody that we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. As you play their pick'em entries for a chance to win 500 times your money, pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Available to 10 different sports as well, so you can mix and match whatever you want to do. They have a brand new offer, though, for new customers. Play just $5, get $5 bonus funds, with promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. They're also a great start in college football in the NFL. They have a leaderboard with weekly cash prize just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type for any model that you build, and you can't win $1K. Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for a quarter off your first month. Download Rhythm, and once again, use the promo code SGPN25 for a quarter off your first month. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through our props for the show. Time to move on into our best bets. Adam, what is going to be your best bet for the show?
I think
The Snell under outs, I think I like the most.
Okay.
This is not a Snell shove spot to me.
No, and Arizona's been good.
Arizona's been great. Snell under 16.5 outs.
Yeah, I see Joe, by the way, mentioning that Bovada actually does let you do an SGP on Skeens for unders. Once again, it's just for unders. It's not overs, Joe, because I can take that too for overs. I want the unders. So we'll see. But my local is 475. So maybe I'll consider that. But point is, for my best bet, I think Jimenez might not play. I am the Void King after all, so he might not play. I think Yoshida should go fine, but I'm going to go Boyd at 4.5 at 4.5. Okay, so it's the same price as Bovada. That's fine. Point is, I'm going to go with the Boyd over 4.5 if it's allowed at minus 108. Whether the wind's blowing in or not, I think you'll see some contact. I think you're looking at Boyd, who has been giving up some hard contact recently. And I think that it's a spot where the Mets offense, despite the team on the verge of maybe blowing a wild card spot, they showed up for the series opener. They've been hitting the ball okay lately. It's the pitching that has not been very good. The Mets might strand a bunch of guys on base. But you know what? Guys are on base. And I think that they can get some hard contact against Boyd. Give me the over 4.5 if it's allowed for him at minus 108 as my best bet. Moving on for the underdog entry. Adam, anything you're tempted by, excuse me? Is there anything that you want to talk about?
Guys that didn't make the card, I like Cattell. Cattell's kind of always carries this team when they we have a profit boost.
Is that on underdog?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have to try extra hard. Now we're gonna try anyway.
Well, so do you want to take a Skeens under?
Well, I'm gonna ask because we talked about this last night.
Or lower 34.5 fantasy score.
I'm fine with that, but I'm just wondering. I need to know how many strikeouts and stuff he actually needs to go over that. But I like the under for the fantasy score. Yeah,
let's do that.
Take that.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it last night, but Skeens is guaranteed to win the Cy Young. The team sucks. Last year, his last 2 starts, 5 innings and 2 innings. I don't think he goes much distance in a game that doesn't matter. So I think Skeens might go like 3.
My argument was just no game matters for this team.
That's my point. So last year they proved they are willing to pull the plug early, and they got scrutinized because it was a home start last year. So the fans got hosed. It's a road game in Cincinnati. Who cares? I think Skeens goes 2-3 innings, and then they pull him. So, yeah, I like that.
Cool. I have then I want to do the Cattell. I think higher 1.5 HRR.
I love Cattell.
Yeah, I like him too.
If he was only not hurt, he would be a really good. I see
We
Joe
bet him to an MVP.
saying the Snell under 17.5 outs. Might as well touch 5. I got it on mine at 114. It doesn't matter. I don't think this
125 sounds fine anyway.
This sounds fine. Yeah. I mean, for me, so like with outs and stuff like that, guys, and this actually goes to how it is for football. If I think someone's only getting over something by a yard or over by an out, it's not a play. Yeah. So that's like when I say like I want someone under 17 and have outs, like I don't think that they make it to the 6th. So all right. Cattell has been not as great as I would have liked. Let's look at let me just look at some blindly look at a few hit rates for hits, runs, RBIs. Is anybody else who jumped out to you? I can look at the ball go boom filter again and see.
Well, I saw somebody mention in the comment section that they gave me a shout because they figured out that Drew Gilbert stinks at baseball.
Oh, Drew Gilbert stinks at baseball. Yeah.
And I brought that up. So I don't know if you want to go for a potential play on Gilbert, but
we could do that.
Somebody mentioned that I brought.
He's not in here, by the way.
I brought him to somebody's radar, and they've been cashing plays.
He's not there. Yeah, like Gaussman screwed you by an out. I get it. It's like you lost on like the hook, but like my point is that your cap wasn't that he was barely going to get there.
Your cap wasn't he's barely going over this. Right. Your cap was I'm giving myself a couple of
exactly margins. So I don't know who Blaine Krim is, but he's hitting the ball really well. Who is that?
A guy who's hitting the ball very well.
I don't know. Do you know who? And some of these are NPCs.
Believe it or not, I was going to say some NPCs are actually good. Isn't Krim? Isn't he on?
He's on Colorado.
Yeah, he's on the Rockies. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Do you want to? So Michael Harris has been smacking the ball. Do we want to do? Alvarez is starting. Some of the pitching matchups aren't ideal for all this. Do you want to take? Here we could do. Oh wait, should we fade some Yankees because didn't they clinch last night? Like
they did,
spot?
but they're still one behind.
Right, but they're a team with poor work ethic.
That's true. I mean, I saw some of the celebrations last night. They were drinking. I don't think it was heavy, but it was still drinking.
So Jazz.
San Diego drank too last night. No, that was 2 nights. That was 2 nights ago because they had the walk off.
So you're saying Jazz.
Yeah, that could work out. Jazz got the 30-30 already, so what's their left.
What does he have to play for? Okay, so here's actually what I would do. I would take the over. Let's take the over earned runs on a couple. I like over earned runs on Kikuchi.
Okay, so we can go with the higher earned runs.
Higher earned runs there, and then I like a higher.
Did you want to fade Scherzer?
No, I wanted to actually back Taj.
Okay. So it's for the audition start, you want to back Taj.
Yeah. I think I want to back Taj. This also Rangers team is like it's not hitting.
They're dead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I actually want to take his fantasy score over 25.5. What do you think?
That's fine. Yeah, sure. Let's get creative with it. Let's get weird.
Okay. So this is a monster play, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
We have 50% profit boost on this to make it 8.5.
Okay.
All right. Paul Skeens lower 34.5 fantasy points. Taj Bradley higher 25.5 fantasy points. You say Kikuchi higher 2.5 earned runs.
Okay.
$50 allegedly nets us $425.
Okay, there you go. It's not
We've
bad.
been crushing Underdog the last month, really.
Even the ones that we lose were like one leg off, and
one leg off. But we hit the one last week too. We hit the one on Friday. We hit the Underdog and we swept. We had a really good show on Friday. Or was it Friday? Did. Yeah, Friday. We had a really good one.
But we didn't do one Monday because there were only 3 games. So, yeah, it was Friday. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the show. Anything else you want to add, Adam?
No, I like Andreas talking about Michael Harris, maybe an RBI and something, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that works. A reminder, by the way, that we are going to be back for the final prop show of the regular season on Friday. And then for the playoffs, we got to figure some stuff out.
Well, we're going to do
some series stuff.
Yeah.
So it comes down to schedule because, of course, we are going to be having a futures episode for the regular MLB pod, probably Sunday night for the wildcard series stuff and for the overall playoffs. So
why would we not do it Monday when everything's out?
No, that would.
Oh, you're talking about the other MLB show?
Yes, not the prop show.
Not the one that I'm part of.
No, the one you're a part of, I figured we would do that on Monday morning.
Okay, that sounds good.
So that's kind of how I was going about it. But either way, that's going to wrap it up for the show. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.